Hello viewers, it's Ultimate523 here, and welcome to Reviewed number 22. And today I'm going to be reviewing Ant-Man, the sixth and final movie in Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the 12th Marvel movie overall.
Así que tú querías, chingalín. Aquí te traigo tu borombón, mamá.
So, Ant-Man. Well, I liked it. It was really decent. It really set up for the next movie, which I'll be reviewing next week, Captain America: Civil War. Because in the beginning of the movie, you have Hayley Atwell's Peggy Carter, and I think it's Howard Stark, a younger Howard Stark, I think, like a slightly younger version from Iron Man 2. And they're kind of talking and getting an argument, and not really, you can really see that that's a person word because Peggy Carter is the wartime love interest of Captain America, and then Howard Stark is Tony Stark's dad, so there's definitely that tension that builds up towards the next movie. But the movie itself, it was really good. I mean, it's the first time you see a new hero, a new character that hasn't been introduced before in a solo movie before. And that's Ant-Man, which is a new character, and I hadn't read the comics like I've said before on many episodes. You should know about that by now. But overall, it was I liked what I saw. The character of Ant-Man was really well done. I mean, I've seen the history of the character, and the costume looks, well, they always try to make it modern, so it looks more modern. But it's the same idea. You can shrink in size and increase in strength. That's the idea. It's basically the idea is it's this thief named Scott Lang who steals stuff, and then so he gets together with some guys, and he ends up breaking into this guy's house, which is basically Hank Pym's house, who is the original owner of the Ant-Man suit, which was made of Ant-Man. So he breaks into there, and he mistakes it for a motorcycle suit, and he gets it, and he turns it on, or he shrinks it, and it just this big cinematic thing that happens. It's really quite fun. However, the really cool part about the beginning of the movie is when he uses his tech, his I guess brain or something to like get through this door that's like, it's really sturdy door. It really can't be broken into. But he gets into it. He basically is able to get all the fire and everything, and he gets able to open the door and is able to get through it, and then that happens. It's very different from the other movies, but it's in this. You can tell it's in the same universe because it has Shield in it, and I think Sitwell. No, I don't think Sitwell. Sitwell is one of the main agents of Shield. Aside from Coulson. But it's a really wild adventure. Really, it's quite a fun movie actually. I really liked it. Especially the character of Evangeline Lilly, who will later portray the Wasp. Because of the credit scene, you have Hank Pym, who was the original Ant-Man, shows his daughter Hope Van Dyne in a Wasp prototype suit. Which she'll be in action. Hopefully she'll be in the next Avengers movie wearing that, which will be really cool. I'm excited for that. But this movie was fantastic. It was fantastically funny. It had a lot of humor in it. It was really funny, because especially when he's training to get through the using the suit and training the suit. That's the part of it was really funny. It definitely has like a solo movie. It was a great movie. I like the part where he first gets up in the morning and he finds all these ants around him and he doesn't know what to do. He's like, get through them. It's actually quite funny. And he actually meets Hope, and that kind of goes off weird. And then you can tell the director wants to the Avengers because he's like, well, why can't he call them the Avengers? It's like, that's not gonna happen. But the great part about the movie is when he it's when he hijacks into a new Avenger facility and has a fight with Falcon, Sam Wilson, who is in the previous movie, Winter Soldier. He was in Winter Soldier. He first appeared in Winter Soldier, but he's now at the Avengers facility. He's like defending, and is basically him against Ant-Man. There's actually a deleted scene or a teaser that I had it in where Falcon was saying, "Who are you?" and he's like, "I'm Ant-Man," and he's like, "Ant-Man," and I think it was something where it was like Iron Man was taken or something like that, which is quite funny. But that being said, that sequence was actually quite funny. It was very dangerous, but it was funny because he's like, "I fought an Avenger and survived." That was funny. I did like the one. I think my favorite character beside Ant-Man himself, Scott Lang, was I think Louis. I think his name is the Mexican kind of. He's a really funny Mexican guy, even though the actor himself is American, kind of weird. But he speaks in a Mexican accent, and he's really quite. He's really has a lot of humor in that role. He's just so funny because he's like. I was with my cousin. I was with my sons. That we were. Yeah, right. He's really funny. There's actually a point in the movie where we're talking about his friend stealing stuff, and I think it was Hope or something like that. Guy was like, didn't he steal a smoothie machine? And he's like, no, 2 smoothie machines, man. That was funny. It's just the movie was a very funny movie. It had a lot of funny in it. But there's one thing about the movie that it was very, very interesting, and that's the villain, the Yellow Jacket, which is basically the equivalent of Ant-Man. Same everything except that that what they did for the movie was it was not a practical suit like Ant-Man was. The Ant-Man suit was actually practical effects. For Yellow Jacket, because it had so many effects they had to do with it, and it would be really impossible to do a practical effects suit. They decided to use motion capture to capture. It's kind of like what they did with Iron Man 2, which actually I didn't even know that it was actually a thing where they motion captured the suit so the actors didn't even have to get in the suit, which is kind of silly. But for Yellow Jacket, the villain of this movie, they instead of gripping a practical suit, they gave motion. They placed the actor in a mocap suit with like yellow mocap suit, so it kind of looked like a Yellow Jacket, and then they added the effects on so it actually looked like a Yellow Jacket, which is pretty cool. Also, this movie was a keychain where he's able to. There's these little discs he was able to throw that cause the things on the keychain to enlarge. So you got for example, he first got a tank. He's able to enlarge with a little frisbee. He even got a Thomas the Tank Engine toy to enlarge into monster size. It was actually really funny. There's actually a moment in the movie where I believe it was. Oh yeah. So when Yellow Jacket is imprisoning Scott Lang, Ant-Man's daughter. Previously, Hank Pym had told Ant-Man that if you use this see too much or something like that, you'll go into a dimension and you can't escape it ever. I can't actually remember what about that happened, but it was something like that where it did happen where he went into another dimension and he was gonna die, and I think he heard Dinosaur's voice, so he was come back somehow, which is actually really, really awesome. That was a really cool part of the movie. Overall, it was a really, really good movie. Like I've said before on previous reviews of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're all really good movies, but this particular solo movie, It was actually the last true solo movie because it really felt like a solo movie. I mean, yeah, they had solo movies before, but like Captain America: Winter Soldier, it really wasn't much of a solo movie. And then Iron Man 3 was a solo movie. I'm just saying one of the ones that I felt like really weren't a solo movie because they had so many actors, like Captain America, Winter Soldier, really felt like that. But Ant-Man did feel like that. It's the first. I mean, first of all, it's the first character the first new character they introduced in this universe because Marvel Cinematic Universe is adding more characters and more characters, and so Ant-Man is a very very good example. He's funny. He has a lot of comedy. He doesn't really always take like situations serious. It was a really again movie. I like Scott Lang's little friend. That was a really big part of the movie. I liked everything about it. Because he kept thinking his name is Scotty or something like that. Yeah, I think that's the idea. Is it nicknamed Scotty, which is really funny. But overall, it was a really interesting movie. I like the character dynamics that were introduced in here, especially with Ant-Man because other than that, and he actually gets there on a flying ant, or he gets to ride an ant that actually has wings. I can't remember what the ant is, but it's like the flying ant or something like that. So he actually able to get on that and ride it and kind of communicate with. He's able to communicate with ants, which is part of his ability. Scott Lang doesn't actually have powers, but with his suit, he gets powers from the suit. That's what powers him is his suit. And so there's a lot about that was really amazing. There's also the things with Hope, where he the relationship with Hope he has is really great because it's played by Evangeline Lilly, who's a tremendous actor. She was in the Hobbit movies, Taro, which you don't know. You check out my review number 5, I think it was. One of the episodes I reviewed. I'll talk all about that. But for the character of Hope Van Dyne, because we find out that her mother is actually Janet Van Dyne, who's actually the original Wasp. Because there's a little scene where you have I think it's a rocket or something. Yeah, I think it's a rocket. And they have both Hank Pym's Ant-Man and Janet Van Dyne's Wasp are both on it, and apparently Janet Van Dyne's Wasp, I guess she sacrificed herself for Hank Pym's Ant-Man or something like that, which is crazy. But we didn't even know that. I mean, one thing to know about Ant-Man is actually he's multiple characters currently, multiple personalities, multiple alter egos. But it's a really interesting. I like the concept of Ant-Man. I mean, it's a really cool thing because he can shrink, and the things he's able to do in the movie were fantastic. I loved it. It was really good. I like the dynamics of the character. I like Hank Pym's character. He was really the father or mentor to Scott Lang. But it was just fantastic. There was so much humor in it. It then, I mean, the first time I saw it, I just kind of felt like it wasn't boring, but it was definitely lacked some principle and lacked some lacked action, I guess. I don't know. I kind of felt like we were just coming back from the Avengers, and we're getting just another hero. I like the fact that they included Falcon in this. Let's talk about it a little bit ago about when Ant-Man was fighting with Falcon, who's a new Avenger in the movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And there's a scene where he's talking to this lady, where she talks about I think one of the because I think Louis is the name of the Hispanic. Louis' character, Michael Pena, I think that's the name of the actor. Michael Pena's character, the really funny one that just has a lot of humor in him. He basically the idea of his character is like he likes going off on tangents where he's like So I was. It's like example. It's like, so I was at this place with my cousin so and so, right? Yeah, and then it's that kind of it's that that's his character. That's what he does. It's really quite funny. But so we get for because what's really interesting about Ant-Man is the first movie where we actually get a reference to or mention to Spider-Man, because they hadn't even cast Spider-Man in the movie franchise, in the movie universe until actually before Ant-Man had already come out, and they hadn't even cast him yet. So it was kind of like a I guess it was lucky to have that. It was like, wow, that was good. It was good timing, because they made a reference to Spider-Man. There's a guy who jumps. There's a guy who swings. There's a guy who's climbing the walls. That's Spider-Man right there. We didn't actually get to see Spider-Man himself, but we actually at least had it here mentioned of him, and that was a really cool Easter egg of Spider-Man, because you know who Spider-Man is. He can with the walls. He can jump, swing, rub with the web fluid. That was really cool. I love that part. Also, the Stan Lee cameo. I was actually really disappointed by this cameo. Now, a lot of the cameos I watch in other movies I loved, but this one was just disappointing because he didn't talk at all. Well, he lip synced, I guess. He basically lip synced. It wasn't very good. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't like what they did with it. I just felt like it wasn't enough, because you have I think you have Louis' character. I'm pretty sure that's his name. Louis' character, and the same scenario where he's like, I was like, you know, the thing I was thought about when he did was like, I was a so and so, and yeah, right, like that. And then he talks about a certain thing that happened, and then suddenly you have Stan Lee, and he's a bartender, and he just says, yeah, like he does something, but not in his voice. And that was really disappointing. But I mean, obviously his cameos are really brief, but even then, a movie like this just deserved more Stan Lee. Like, it deserved to have Stan Lee actually speak. I mean, he spoke, but it wasn't in his mouth, in his like actual mouth. Like, it wasn't him talking. He like lip syncing. It was disappointing. But that being said, the whole movie was fantastic. I love the characters that were introduced. I love the setup, because especially the very end when we know that Humphrey Van Dyne's going to become the new Wasp. That was a fantastic moment, because I didn't realize it was going to happen. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to happen. I'm going to have the Wasp, and I'm glad it'll be in Infinity War. But yeah, I mean, obviously this is going to be a sequel in 2018 called Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, overall, great movie. I liked it. I liked what I brought to the table. I liked the character. Ant-Man himself was funny. I like this casting was pretty good too, especially having Anthony Mackie who plays Falcon in it. It was a really good mix. I like that mix. I like when they mix some characters and they really make it they make it like it's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's what it is. And at the very end, you have the post-credit scene where it's actually a scene directly from Captain America: Civil War, which is actually really cool. And that's a scene where they're talking, where Falcon is talking to Captain America, or Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers, and they're talking about like, we just want Tony, who would believe this, and that kind of thing. It's actually a scene from the movie, and that sets up for the next movie. It's pretty good. But this movie was it was funny. It had a lot of funny in it. There was some dangerous parts of it, like the Hank Pym scenes. That was really good. I liked everything about it. It had some good stuff. There was a point in the movie where there was a download where Ant-Man's team was because it was basically a team of thieves, and so you have I think it's a Russian guy. I can't remember exactly, but it was this Russian guy. They were downloading a code thingy. Because it was a scene where Ant-Man was he was trying to get into the thing where he could get into the place where the Yellow Jacket is suiciding, and so he's basically trying to get into all this like electrical stuff, because it's basically electric current that's running through this, so that if he goes on there not soon enough, he'll get zapped, and that's not good. But so basically they're trying to download this code, and they had to be in time so that they can stop the current so that the Ant-Man can get through. But in the meantime, there's this guards like banging on the door like saying, what's going on there? Who's there? Like that. They're like going fast. Basically trying to go fast so they can get through it, so they can let Scott in. So that was a big part of the movie that was like a little tension. It's kind of a thrill in a way. It really thrilled you up. But overall, I liked this movie. Good. It was good first. It was a good standalone and a good ending with Phase 2 universe. Yeah, because like I said in the intro, this is actually the last movie in Phase 2 of the MCU. Because there are multiple phases and there's certain movies in the phases. Phase 3 will be the biggest one, but this movie was the last movie in Phase 2. Phase 2 lasted from Iron Man 3 and not Ant-Man. So yeah, this is the sixth movie and final movie in this current phase in Phase 2. Not in the current phase. The current phase is Phase 3, but in the current phase in Phase 2. I mean, it was a different movie than I expected it to be. It had some good cast members. It was good. I liked it. There's a lot about the movie that I liked about it. I liked the fact that he was able to shrink. That's actually a thing where there's a trait that's also from, but also Adam from Legends of Tomorrow inhabits, which is a TV show. I might review that. I don't know. But I like I think a really great scene. Not just my favorite scenes in this movie are not just the Michael Pena's character Louis scenes, because his character is really funny, but there's a great scene where he's testing the Ant-Man suit on for the first time, and he's basically trying to get through this keyhole, and he can't do it, and he keeps trying, and he just can't do it. And that was a really great part of the movie. There's also a really great part of the movie where they're planning how to get the yellow jacket, because at that part of the movie they get the yellow jacket, but they get caught, and everyone kind of gets down, and there's the big yellow jacket versus Ant-Man scene, which is actually a really funny scene. Even from the trailer, the first time I saw the trailer, I saw that scene, I'm like, that is hilarious, because you have basically it's Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket fighting on basically a Thomas the Tank engine railroad track thing kind of set up, like it's a big play set up, and they're basically fighting on it, and there's this big fight of like bam bam, it's like comic book style, bam bam, and then suddenly you see the Thomas the train coming by, and then suddenly you see this. It's just like, because it seems so dramatic when they're like little, and then when it actually happens, they're like it was actually really funny. But that was just a really great thing. I also like the relationship between Scott Lang and his daughter, because Judy Greer plays his ex-wife. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. But he still has custody over his daughter, and so that was really funny. Oh, sorry. My computer does that. It's kind of close to screensaver. But it was actually really a funny moment in the movie. It's a great funny moment in the movie. One really very funny moment in the movie was when Scott Lang gave I guess really creepy money thing to his daughter, and she's like, I'm sorry, it's not much, and he gives it to her, and she's like, I love it. And it's just creepy doll. It's just this creepy bunny doll thing. It's really creepy. It has this creepy voice, and it looks like it wants to kill you. It looks funny. Actually, what's really crazy is that I think it's one of Scott Lang's friends. I think it's the new boyfriend of his current wife. I don't know. There's a big tension between those two characters. But I like the Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket scene. That was great. That was like a big cinematic battle thing, and it was fantastic, and a lot of great things in it. and so I just loved the movie itself. It was not bad, honestly. It wasn't. It isn't my favorite, but it definitely is a really decent movie, and they did a really good job at it, and I really liked it. So yeah, it's really all I can say about the movie that I can think of right now. It was great. I just adored it. I look forward to the sequel, definitely, because and the credits really kind of made up for that. And also there's a scene where there's a one last scene where where Scott is going home, and the next thing you know, because Hank's like, this is a little weird. He opens the door, and then you suddenly see, like, for like 2 seconds, Ant-Man and Wasp or Hope and Scott kissing for like 2 seconds. That was a really kind of scene. It was like, that was okay, well. But anyway, so yeah, that's all I can say for this review. Great movie. I would give it a I'd give it a 9 out of 10 because it's really well done. They really did a really good job with it, and I really look forward to it, especially the Spider-Man Easter egg. That was great. That was a great part of it. So yeah, I think that'll do it for this review. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And I hope you enjoyed it, like I said before, and I will see you next time for the next episode. Alright, see ya.